Hello, has anyone seen Moonstruck? Cause I just did a minute ago and I'd really like to talk about it, please. Okay, so the movie opens up. Cher, aka Loretta, is on her way to her bookkeeping job. She meets up with 2 clients and then she meets her boyfriend Johnny at their favorite restaurant, Grandissimo Italian Ristorante. I'm sorry. Johnny, he's looking all nervous. He's looking real sus, actually. And Cher is like, hey, what's going on? He's like, maybe we should order dessert. She's like, you never eat dessert. And he's like, never say never. Turns out he was just really nervous because he wanted to propose to her. So dessert comes out. Immediately, he's like, everyone's emailing me right now. I'm talking about Moonstruck. What was I saying? Right. So dessert comes out. As soon as dessert comes out, Johnny's like, Cher, will you marry me? Cher's like, are you proposing marriage right now? She says it like that. And he's like, yes. That's not acceptable. The way that he's just sitting there asking her, unacceptable. So Loretta, she says, if you're going to propose marriage, this is set in New York, by the way, and everyone is extremely Italian, and I love it. So Loretta says, if you're gonna propose, you need to be on your knees.
On the floor?
And he's like, this is my nice suit. And she's like, I know it's your nice suit. I bought you that suit. It came with 2 pants. He gets down on both knees and the servers are in the corner like, he's getting down on both knees. His suit, he's gonna ruin his suit. So he's like scooting on his knees like, will you marry me? Where's the ring? And he's like, ring.
I would have sprung for the ring if it was me. Capiche?
She's like, use your pinky ring, because he just has other rings on, which, you know, that's fine. Ring king, I get it, sure. He takes off pinky ring and he's like, Loretta, will you marry me? And she's like, yeah, I'll marry you. Super casual, fine, right? After the restaurant, they're in the car. They're discussing when to get married. He's like, we don't need a date. We don't need to put dates. And she's like, I need a date. I've had bad luck. That's an entire theme in this movie too. Luck. I thought this was gonna be about magic because the movie's called Moonstruck. And there's a lot of moon stuff. And she keeps mentioning her luck because her husband died 7 years previously because they didn't have like a proper wedding, whatever. So she's like, it's bad luck. We gotta set a date. He's like, whatever, my mother's dying, which takes precedence. She's like, then after your mom dies, we'll get married, I guess. And he's like, I gotta go to Italy. And she's like, so a month? And he's like, we don't need to put a date. And she's like, a month from today. He's like, fine. So they're at the airport, right? So they just do this really awkward, like, goodbye, I'll see you later after my mom dies.
You got a brother?
We haven't spoken in 5 years. There was some bad blood.
He gets on the plane and Loretta is staring out the window, watching, you know, as the plane is about to take off. And this babushka looking woman is standing right next to her. And she looks at Cher and she's like, do you have a loved one on that plane? And Cher's like, yeah, my fiance. And she's like, I cursed the plane. My sister's on that plane.
I put a curse on that plane that it's gonna explode. Boil on fire and fall into the sea. 50 years ago, she stole a man from me. Sorprese il mio uomo.
And Cher's like, I don't believe in curses. Apparently she believes in luck and the moon, but not curses. She's definitely covered in bad luck, but she does not mind curses. Cher doesn't care for curse. Surprisingly, the plane is fine. Spoilers, there are no plane crashes. Thankfully, the curse did not work. Thank goodness that babushka's curse failed. So after Loretta drops Johnny off at the airport, she goes home and she's like, Dad, I'm engaged. And he's like, no good. Didn't you do that already? Didn't you get married already? And she's like, yeah, the guy died. Yeah, he's dead.
And what killed him?
He got hit by a bus.
No, bad luck.
So Dad's like, no, you're not gonna get married. No. To Johnny Cameretti? No, I don't think so.
I don't like his lips. When he smiles, I can't see his teeth. What does he hide?
She's like, I don't care. I'm getting married to him. It's fine. He's like, let's go tell your mother. She's in bed, fully asleep. They go upstairs, turn on all the lights. They're like, Ma. She's like, someone dead? She's like, is somebody dead? And she's like, no, I'm getting married. She's like, to Johnny Cameretti? Do you love him? And she's like, no, of course not. She's like, okay, good.
And this time I'm going to get married in a church and have a big reception.
And who's gonna pay for that?
Pop.
What?
You're paying for the wedding, Cosmo. Cosmo's like, I'm not paying for no wedding. She's like, you're rich. Pay for the wedding.
He thinks if he holds on to his money, he will never die.
Johnny's in Italy, right? His mother's dying. She's actually in the background because Johnny calls Loretta at some point to be like, you need to call my brother. He needs to come to the wedding. We have bad blood. And then you can see the mom in the background like, when am I gonna die? Like, she's literally waiting. There are nuns everywhere like, yeah, let's go. When are you dying? We have other things to do. And Johnny's like, please call my brother. He needs to come to the wedding. I really need him to be there. But we haven't spoken in a while. There's bad blood. We need the blood to be good. Please call him. Cher's like, fine, I'll call him.
All right, bye-bye.
So then she calls. He works at the bakery. A receptionist picks up, I think. Whoever. The front desk bakery. She's like, hello. And Cher's like, I need Johnny's brother, Ronnie. And she's like, yeah, just a minute. And then she puts Ronnie on the phone. All we see is Ronnie's back. He's tattooed. He's wearing this tank top. He's shoveling bread into this big hot oven, and he's sweating. All you see is his back. She's on the phone with Ronnie, and she's like, hey, Ronnie, this is Loretta, Johnny's fiance. He wants you to come to the wedding, even though there's bad blood. You should come to the wedding. And Ronnie's like,
What's wrong can never be made right.
and hangs up. Loretta's like, unacceptable. She goes to the bakery the next day. She's like, where's Ronnie? And the lady in the front's like, he's downstairs. And Loretta's like, take me to Ronnie. Hello? We go downstairs. It's covered in bread. There's bread everywhere. There's several bakers. She's like, is Ronnie here? And everyone's like, hey, Ronnie, where are you? And he's, shoveling his bread into an oven. It's very hot down there, super sweaty. Cher walks up. She's like, are you Ronnie? And Nicolas Cage, AKA Ronnie, turns around.
Did you come from my brother Johnny?
Yeah.
Why?
Well...
Look at Nicolas Cage. Right. Where was I? Loretta says, Ronnie, come to the wedding. I'm Johnny's fiance. Nice to meet you. No more bad blood. It's over. Come to the wedding.
And it wants me to come. What is life? They say bread is life. And I bake bread.
And Loretta's like, what is this bad? Like, what happened between you two? What's going on? What happened? And he just goes off on this tangent, like, give me a knife, hand me a knife, to that girl at the front desk.
Chrissy, over by the wall. Bring me the big knife.
No, Ronnie!
Bring me the big knife. I'm gonna cut my throat.
She's like, no, I refuse. I won't get you a knife. I won't do it. And he's like, give me a knife. I'm gonna slit my throat right in front of you. Loretta's just done. She's like, what are you doing? What is it? No, bad blood is over. It's done. Come to the wedding. He's like, you know why we have bad blood? And he takes off his glove.
This wood is fake.
Because he lost his hand in a bread cutting accident because of his brother, which, okay. His brother comes into the bakery. His brother's like, hey, Ronnie. He's cutting bread. And Ronnie's like, hi, Johnny. Loses his 4 fingers just from being distracted by his brother. Forever blames his brother for losing his fingers. And his fiance at the time was like, you don't have any fingers? It's over. And leaves him because he loses his hand. He has no more hand. And that's why she left, which, like, good riddance.
That's the bad blood between you and Johnny?
We haven't spoken in 5 years.
Yes, that's it.
That's not Johnny's fault.
I don't care. I ain't no freaking monument to justice. I lost my hand. I lost my bride. Johnny has his hand. Johnny has his bride. You want me to take my heartbreak, put it away, and forget?
Loretta's done. She's like, this is too dramatic. Can we just go somewhere to talk? Like, is there somewhere we can talk about this further? And Ronnie's like, yeah, I live upstairs. And they go upstairs. We're also cutting to everyone else's story, like Loretta's parents, They have their thing going on. Loretta's dad is cheating on Loretta's mom with some bimbo. I don't even remember her name. It's irrelevant. There's other things going on, but obviously the focus is Cher and Nicolas Cage. So we go upstairs. We're in the apartment. Nicolas Cage is playing opera music and he's staring out the window and Cher's just like doing stuff in the kitchen. She's making stuff. Ronnie's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm making you a steak." He's like, "I like it well done." She's like, "You'll have it bloody. It's good for your blood."
This is good.
So then they start talking and she says, "You know what? It's not bad blood. It's you. You're a wolf.
I'm a wolf.
Yeah.
You chewed off your own hand and that you recognize that you were in a bad relationship. You're like a wolf caught in a trap. She was the trap. You have no idea what you are."
So he's a wolf, right? And there's a full moon. How does that work? That's the significance of her saying, "You're a wolf. You bit your own hand off. Oh, full moon."
What? The whole movie is just like moon stuff, moon stuff, moon stuff. And then wolf stuff walks in and I'm like it just didn't, why didn't those, okay, whatever. Out of nowhere, he flips the whole table, grabs Loretta. She's like, and then he kisses her. She kisses him back. They stop kissing. She's like, "What's going on?" And then suddenly he picks her up.
What are you doing?
Son of a bitch!
Where are you taking me?
To the bed.
And then she's like, "Fine, I don't care." "Fine, I don't care. I don't care." She's in his arms like, "I don't care. I don't care." They end up having sex, which is really confusing to me, but fine. The moon is out. Cut to the couple that works at the store that Cher works at. They're like, "Hey, what's going on outside?" And the wife is like, "In the moonlight, you look about 25 years old." And he's like, "Hey." And she's like, "Hey." And then they have sex. Wake up the next morning. Cher's like, "This was a mistake. Forget this happened. Forget you saw me. See you at the wedding though. Forget everything. This is over." Nicolas Cage is like, "No, I'm in love with you." And she's like,
Snap out of it.
"I'm leaving. I never want to see you again." And he says, "Come to the opera with me at the Met." And she's like, "Where's the Met?" And then she goes to work and she's all, flustered. She's like, "Oh my God, there's so much happening." And those two old people who actually work at the store with her, who were, like the moon, hey, they're like, "Loretta, what's going on? Are you okay?" She's like, I'm fine. She takes the money for the deposit that she's supposed to bring to the bank. She's like, I gotta go to the bank. On the way to the bank, she stops at the salon. She gets a full makeover, curls, just beautiful. She gets her makeup done, her nails. She gets a whole new outfit, beautiful. And then later on, she meets up with Nicolas Cage. He's flexing too. He's like, "Ooh, you didn't think I could do this because I'm a baker, right? Wrong." Nicolas Cage is like, Ready for the opera? They go in. Guess who else is there? Loretta's dad with his side chick. I'm sure she's a nice lady. Maybe she didn't know he was married. Loretta and dad don't see each other yet. They enjoy the opera. It's fine. There's an intermission. They get drinks. Dad and Loretta still don't know they're there. So they go back in after intermission. There's this beautiful song being sung. The opera is overwhelming Cher. She starts weeping. She looks at Nicolas Cage. They look at each other. And just right there, they're just like, ugh. She's just so overwhelmed. Everything, right. Whatever. They're in love now. Obviously. So they're leaving the opera. Loretta's like, Dad? Dad is like, Loretta? And girlfriend goes, I'll just be. So Loretta's like, Dad, what are you doing? And Dad's like, Loretta, what are you doing? And then it's kind of just like we know what we're both doing. And they leave it at that. Cut to, Mom is at a restaurant. She meets this guy who's just been dumped by this younger woman. And she's like, she was too young for you anyway. Just completely putting her nose in someone else's business.
Too young? How old are you?
None of your business.
I'm sorry.
Would you like to join me for dinner?
They start eating dinner together. It's like a platonic thing, sort of. She starts asking him, why do men cheat? Why are men pigs? Why are men dogs? You know, obviously he doesn't have the right answers. Mom is done having dinner with random guy. Mom is like, you wanna walk home together? But like, okay, no, none of these. It's completely platonic. He's probably like, yeah, let's walk home, right? They walk home together. He's like, that's your house? It's a mansion. She's like, it's a house. Okay, I'm standing outside. He's like,
I'm a little cold.
You're a little boy, and you like to be bad.
I'm married. You can't come upstairs. And he's like, sure is cold though. She's like, good night. And he's like, okay, good night. So cold. She has self-control and he goes home. We never see him again. He's irrelevant. Cut back to Cher and Nicolas Cage. They're on their way back home. Nicolas Cage is like, come upstairs. And Cher's like, no, this is a mistake. I'm done with this. Nicolas Cage is like, come upstairs. And she's like, no, I'm not coming upstairs. I'm not coming upstairs. And he's like, love is about making mistakes. And he's doing his Nicolas Cage rant. And he's like, love, I love you. And she's like, okay. And then goes upstairs, spends the night. Johnny's back from Sicily. He's at the airport and he's got his luggage. He's back from Sicily. He goes straight to Loretta's house. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. Loretta lives with her dad, her mom, her grandpa, and 5 dogs. They never explain why they have 5 dogs, but it's adorable. Anyway, he goes directly to Loretta's house. Who answers? Loretta's mom.
Can you wake up Loretta? I need to talk to her.
Loretta's not here. I don't know where she is. And he's like, okay, I'll come back tomorrow. He leaves. Cut to tomorrow. Cher comes home. Loretta's mom is like, is that a love bite on your neck? And Cher's like, oh no, you better hide that. Johnny's coming. And she's like, oh no, Johnny's coming. She tries to change real quick. Someone knocks at the door.
Hurry up. Oh my God.
It's actually Ronnie. Nicolas Cage, AKA Ronnie, is at the door. He's like, I'm here to confess to Johnny. And Cher's like, dude, this is not the time right now, dog. And then Cher's mom is like, do you want some oatmeal? You want some breakfast? Cher's like, no, he doesn't.
Yes, Mrs. Castorini, I would love some oatmeal.
No, we don't want any oatmeal.
They sit down, they start having oatmeal. Loretta's dad comes in. It's awkward because Loretta's dad and Loretta met up at the opera the other night. They both know what happened at the opera. Mom has a feeling that she's being cheated on. She actually said it in the church previously. She's like, I think I'm being cheated on. And Cher was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So he sits down. We're all having oatmeal. It's real awkward. We're all having oatmeal. It's awkward. Grandpa walks in.
Buongiorno.
He's like, Cosmo, you got to pay for her wedding.
You break your house through pride.
And Dad's like, you're right. I'll pay for the wedding. Loretta's mom says to Dad, to Cosmo, I want you to stop seeing her. And Cosmo's like, everyone's like, what's going on? What's happening? He slams his hand on the table. He sits back down. He's like, okay. And then right after that, she's like, and I want you to go to confessional. He's like, my life, my empty life. You asked for too much. And she's like, te amo. And he's like, te amo. Blows her a kiss. And then we continue eating our awkward oatmeal. We're waiting. Where's Johnny? They hear a knock at the door. They're like, oh, they think it's Johnny. Every time someone knocks, they're like, oh, Johnny. But then it's the 2 old people from the store. They just let themselves in. The 2 old people are like, Loretta?
We just come from the bank.
Oh my God, the bank.
The deposit, oh my God. And she gets to have her bag. These 2 old people were fully prepared to accuse her of stealing, and they walked in like, are you a thief? Like the looks on their faces, they were just ready to be like, please, Loretta, you were being so weird yesterday. What was that about? But she just forgot to deposit the money. That is completely just not a problem anymore. They move on. They come in, more oatmeal, awkward oatmeal. Where's Johnny? Another knock at the door. Johnny's here, okay? Johnny sees Ronnie. He's like, you ready to make up? Ronnie's like, yeah. But you're not gonna like what I have to say. And Johnny's like, what? No, I'm totally prepared to make up because, Mom's doing just fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great.
But Johnny, your mother was dying. How did she recover?
I told my mother we were to be married, and she got well right away.
But Loretta, I really have to tell you something. And Loretta and Ronnie, like, no, we have to tell you something. Johnny blurts out, I can't marry you anymore. Loretta's like,
What?
If I marry you, my mother will die.
What the hell are you talking about? We're engaged.
Loretta, what are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about a promise, okay? He proposed.
Because my mother was dying and now she's not.
because I told Mom that I was getting married and that healed her. If I tell her, wait, now I'm confused about why he broke up with her.
The only reason he was gonna get married was to make his mom feel better. So he can't, now that mom's feeling better, he can't get married.
I can't marry you because my mom's doing better. I only wanted to marry you because I thought my mom was going to die. So therefore, I don't have to marry you now because she's better. So
He was just wrapped up in it. His mom was dying. He needed to marry someone to make her feel better. But now she's feeling better. He's like, he got back to his senses, basically. That probably will kill his mother. But, yeah, insta-death.
oh my, that's confusing. Anyway, Loretta's fully offended. She's like, you're not gonna marry me? Are you serious? Ronnie's like, hey, Loretta, this is a good thing. What, Loretta? So she's upset. The whole family's kind of just sitting there, still having their awkward oatmeal. We're in the kitchen. It's breakfast time. This is so awkward.
You are a big liar, okay? Because I have a ring right here.
Oh, I must ask for that back.
All right, the engagement is off.
Ronnie stands up. He's like, Johnny, I'm in love with Loretta. Loretta, will you marry me?
What?
Loretta's like, yeah, of course, but like, to propose engagement, you have to have a ring, of course. We know Loretta. So Ronnie's like, Johnny, can I borrow that ring? Yeah, all right. And gives it to him, proposes to Loretta.
Yes, Ronnie, in front of all these people, I'll marry you.
Do you love him, Loretta?
Ma, I love him awful.
Oh, God, that's too bad.
Family celebrating, oatmeal's over, time for champagne. Johnny's in the corner like, oh my God. The grandpa comes up to him like, have some champagne. You're family now. Have some champagne. And Johnny's like, no, I couldn't, I won't. He's like, your family. And he's like, family. The moral of the story?
Family.
Moral of the story, family, and Nick Cage was a hottie patati. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Destroy the like button. Please gently hit the like button. Hopefully, I'll be making more organized videos. Not hopefully, I definitely will. Because I really enjoy film and I really enjoy talking about them. So stay tuned. Was that dumb?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling.